Our story kicks off with a high-rank villain known as Ralph single-handedly overpowering the police outside a bank. While he's busy dealing with law enforcement, his gang members are carrying out a daring robbery inside. With the bank successfully robbed, the gang hastily makes their escape toward a waiting bus. The gang's leader, Ralph, can't resist grabbing a handful of stolen money and savoring its scent. As the gang rushes to their getaway vehicle, two members seize an unexpected opportunity. They take two hostages, who turn out to be none other than the governor's wife and daughter. The mother pleads with them to spare her daughter, tugging at their humanity. Tensions rise as one gang member grabs the mother's wrist and tries to separate them, one of the gang member threatening to spank the young girl. The bus driver of the getaway bus steps in and demands that the hostages be released, said it in a commanding tone, without warning grabbing one of the gang members by the face, while the other try charging at him. Meanwhile, outside of the bus, Ralph and the other members are running towards the bus. Then suddenly a member bursts through the window of the bus, stunning Ralph. As he walks dramatically out of the bus while dragging the unconscious gang member away, Ralph is taken aback and demands to know who this newcomer is, as he removes his mask, revealing himself to be none other than Session Lee, an S-level psyker and our protagonist, putting Ralph in a state of shock. "Long time no see, Ralph. You big bastard. I've missed you," said by Hessian. It becomes clear that Session and Ralph have a history together. Session removes the earpiece that had been communicating with him, ignoring the advice to avoid rash actions, emitting sparks of flames from his palm, sending a chilling shiver down Ralph's spine. Session, with a calm yet deadly expression, saying he's going to trench them, so prepare yourselves. After the intense battle, Ralph and his gang members, Session faces criticism and punishment for his impulsive actions by the media inside the Lampus building, an international organization of psychers. He endures a scolding from the director of the branch and is ultimately suspended. Session questions the unexpected friendship between Jeff and the director as he leaves her office. Suddenly, Session receives a call from Jeff, urging him to come to Rhodes, Greece. Intrigued and concerned, Session travels to Rhodes and finds himself in a quaint tea shop waiting anxiously for Jeff. A heartwarming flashback from their time at the orphanage washes over him, reminding him of the cherished memories they shared. In the present, it's already nighttime in Rhodes, and Cassian's worry intensifies as Jeff's arrival is delayed. Suddenly, Jeff appears behind Cassian, his body badly injured. Cassian rushes to his side, frantically asking who caused Jeff's injuries. In response, Jeff hands Cassian a necklace and urges him to take it and run away. As Session tries to call for an ambulance, a mysterious masked figure appears before them. In a shocking turn of events, Jeff shoves Session aside and confronts the. In one swift motion, the masked figure decapitates Jeff, leaving Cassian in a state of grief and disbelief and consumed by anger and grief. Cassian chases after the masked figure. Session finally catches up to the masked figure on a nearby shore. Enraged, he demands to know why Jeff was killed. The masked figure removes his mask, revealing himself to be an S-rank psyker named Jack. Cassian, filled with rage, demands to know why Jack killed Jeff. Jack calmly responds, stating that he was merely disposing of a traitor. Before Cassian can fully comprehend Jack's words, another S-rank psyker approaches Cassian from behind, accusing Jeff of killing one of their own, and implying that there is proof of his actions. They inform Cassian that the leader of Lampus is also suspicious of him, leaving Cassian torn between loyalty and doubt. One of the psyker warns Cassian not to do anything rash, because they have an extra 2S rank with them, as Cassian immediately charges towards Jack, with a bursting fire behind him. Cassian dodges Jack's sword attack and counters it with a powerful flaming punch, sending Jack flying backward. Jack unleashed his power of Shadow Sword, and the another S-rank psyker joins the fray, unleashing her formidable powers. They both attack Cassian at the same time. Cassian manages to fend off their attack, but he's unexpectedly shot in the leg by a mysterious sniper. The S-rank psyker warns Session to surrender, but he refuses and creates a massive flame barrier to protect himself. Determined to escape, Session makes a daring leap toward the edge of a cliff, attempting to plunge into the water below. In a devastating twist, Cassian is shot in the chest by the mysterious sniper, causing him to fall into the water and drown, regretting not having his revenge against Lamp. Suddenly, the necklace glow and the scene shift to a kid that is facing his head down into the toilet. As the bullies flee, thinking the kid is dead, the kid raises his head up from the toilet and reveals a pendant hanging around his neck to be the necklace Jeff gave to Cassian before his death. Confusion clouds Cassian's mind as he steps out of the rest, questioning his location and the peculiar voice he hears. As he catches sight of himself in the mirror, a wave of realization washes over him. He is now trapped in the body of a child. A shocking revelation revelation that he initially dismisses as a dream. In an attempt to wake himself up, Cashin splashes water on his face, only to find that his circumstances are indeed real. The memories of Gangugwan, the Korean owner of the body, resurface within Cashin's consciousness. The realization that he is now in a different country further adds to his confusion. During his internal turmoil, a strange voice pierces the silence, calling out to him, "Cashin, you are awake." Startled, Cashin shouts out, demanding to know who is present in the room. As he does, the necklace he received from Jeff begins to glow. The necklace emits an ethereal light, revealing a dark, shadow-like entity with a single eye. The Dark Soul, now known as Moros, introduces himself to Cashin. Moros claims to be an ancient and powerful entity, unsettling Cashin even further. Struggling to comprehend the situation, Cashin anxiously questions Moros about his origin and how he emerged from the necklace. Moros acknowledged Cashin's growing curiosity and expressed his expectation of numerous questions. As Cashin processed the realization that it was Moros who had brought him back to life, Moros also complimented his Korean accent, reminding Cashin of his past in Korea. Before his adoption in the US, Cashin remained bewildered, unsure of how such a miraculous event could have occurred. Moros then revealed that Jeff had entrusted him with the necklace to safeguard Cashin, which put Cashin in a gloomy mood. He couldn't help but inquire about the fabled sword that Jeff had been searching for, the legendary Sword of Annihilation, forged during the War of Myths. Cashin questions how he knows all this and also whether he can trust Moros. In the midst of Cashin's contemplation, he absent-mindedly scrolled through his phone, only to stumble upon a shocking news article that accused him of Jeff's murder. The overwhelming surge of anger sent Cashin's emotions winding out of control, while Moros desperately attempted to calm and comfort his turbulent state of mind. However, as emotions surged within Cashin, an unexpected transformation overtook him. As his body took on a shadowy form, adorned with sharp claws and mismatched eye color, Cashin found himself bewildered and confused by this sudden transformation, further deepening his inner turmoil. Meanwhile, a group of bullies eagerly awaited confirmation of Gangugwan's demise. They taunted a chubby kid running towards them. However, upon learning that the chubby kid had not witnessed anyone in the restroom and had no knowledge of police or ambulance presence, one of the bullies, overcome with rage, berated his companions for their false assumptions. They dismissed the chubby kid, seizing a nylon bag from his hand. The leader, with a cruel smirk, declared that they would relish in ruining his life once again. On the rooftop of the school, Gangugwan found himself hiding, having climbed his way up there in an attempt to avoid being seen. Frustrated and filled with questions, Gangu confronted Moros, demanding an explanation for why he had transformed into a villain. Moros informs him by returning to life, he had altered the path of destiny, and that the true Gangu was meant to be reborn as a villain, destined to bring forth the apocalypse. Consumed by his newfound role, Gangu struggled to accept his fate. Frustrated and overwhelmed, Gangu lamented the fact that despite being a top-class psyker now turned villain. In a fit of rage, he forcefully smashed the wall, demanding answers from Moros as to why he had been brought back. Amidst Gangu fury, Moros attempted to calm him, recognizing that all villains were driven by powerful desires. Moros acknowledged that Gangu must be harboring intense and unpleasant intentions in his mind at that moment. Moros urged Gangu to calm down, emphasizing the importance of controlling his emotions in order for Moros to assist him effectively. Gang's voice cracked as he yelled for Moros to stop. Realizing the overwhelming weight of the situation, he bent over, placing his head between his legs, attempting to process everything that had transpired. In that vulnerable moment, Moros muttered, "You must live on." That's what Jeff would have told him right now. Moros revealed that Jeff regretted involving Gangu in this dangerous journey and knew that his own death was near. He had given Gangu the necklace to ensure his survival and advised him not to let his sacrifice go in vain. Gradually, Gangu began to calm down, and Moros acknowledged his state of calmness. However, Gangu shouted back, telling Moros to stop bossing him around. After regaining control and transforming back into his human form, Gangu questioned Moro about his identity once again. Moros cryptically replied that Gangu would find out when he discovered the Sword of Annihilation. Suddenly, the bullies who had tormented the old Gangu appeared on the rooftop. Inside the school building, we were introduced to a trainee psyker named Chan Kim. He captured the attention of those around. Suddenly, he received a call while talking on the phone, interrupting his phone call. Chan Kim glanced towards the rooftop and promised to call the person back later. Back on the rooftop, Gangu recognized the bullies as the ones who had bullied the old Gangu in the past. He turned to look at Moros, who informed him that only Gangu could see him. One of the bullies taunted Gangu, claiming that he had scared them. Gangu fed up with their presence. Gangu asked if they were done, expressing that he was in a bad mood. He reluctantly admitted admitted that he didn't like hurting kids, but he would make an exception for them. Moros warned Gangu that even in his human form, he possessed immense power, advising him to control it. Gangu interrupted Moros, asserting that he already knew. Just then, one of the bullies approached Gangu, irritated by the way Gangu was looking at him. He tried to slap Gangu, but Gangu retaliated with a strong punch, instantly knocking him out. The other bully charged at Gangu with a baseball bat, striking him, but Gangu blocked the attack and landed a powerful punch, knocking the second bully out as well. The leader of the bullies was left speechless, walking closer and asking the leader if he didn't feel any guilt for bullying the weak. The leader responded with a smirk and a laugh, mocking Gangu for acting cool and becoming cocky just because he defeated the two weaklings. Gangu took his response as a refusal and declared that the leader needed to be taught a lesson, with his fists being the ones to deliver it. Gangu charges towards the leader, who threw a punch in his direction, swiftly dodging the attack. Gangu retaliated with an uppercut and followed it with a punch to the stomach. The leader of the bullies crumpled to the ground, clutching his stomach in pain. Gangu asked him if he felt any guilt now, to which the leader responds with a defiant "go to hell." Gangu grabbed hold of him, highlighting that the lesson would not sink in unless he stopped holding back. Just as Gangu was about to deliver a decisive blow, Acha intervened, telling him to stop. Gangu questioned Acha's identity and stated that it was none of his business. Acha pointed out that Gangu was stronger than the bully leader, and questioned the purpose of engaging in a fight. Enraged by the insinuation that he was weak, the leader charges toward Gangu. Gangu swiftly landed a powerful kick, sending him flying. Acha taps Gangu on the shoulder, urging him to stop. However, Gangu responds with an elbow strike, which Acha managed to block. They engage in a rapid exchange of punches, with Acha skillfully dodging Gangu's strike. In return, Acha delivered a powerful kick, but Gangu narrowly avoided. In the midst of their confrontation, Gangu realized Acha is fast. Just then, Moros call out to Gangu, alerting him that Acha is a psyker and too dangerous to face in his human form. Distracted by Moros' warning, Gangu momentarily let his guard down. Seizing the opportunity, Acha charged towards him and threw a punch. Gangu manages to dodge, but the punch grazes his face, leaving a cut. As they lock eyes, Acha pleads for them to stop, emphasizing that nothing good would come from fighting each other. He then offers Gangu a bandage for his bleeding face. Gangu hesitated for a while, but eventually grabbed the bandage and walked away. Acha wondered who Gangu was and how he managed to deal with the three bullies, all while nursing his injured arm. Later, we see Gangu at a PC cafe, attempting to log into his Psycho ID, only to discover that it had already been deleted. Outside, Gangu is eating a burger. He asks Moros how he knew that Acha was a psyker. Moros replies that he could sense it because Acha had touched him. Impressed, Moros also says he can do more with power analysis. Gangu inquires further, asking how Moros knows all these things. Moros simply states that he's the mighty one. Moros then encouraged Gangu to try changing into his villain form to analyze his powers. Gangu hesitates, expressing his disinterest in embracing his villainous side. However, he's going to do it because he's now a villain. Gangu asked for instructions on how to transform, and Moros explains that villains were unable to control their 5 desires and 7 emotions. In Gangu's case, anger triggered his transformation into a villain. Reflecting on everything that had happened, Gangu shouted out that he would kill Lampus, demonstrating his anger. Moros, confused, asked Gangu what he was doing. Gangu replies that he is getting angry, to which Moros explains that it is not how it works. Gangu needs to visualize his anger in his mind. Frustrated, Gangu yells that Moros should have told him this from the beginning. Please let me know if you need part 2 in the comment section. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.